Welcome to The Divide with Mike and Corey, two diehard baseball fans who don't agree on anything. Which side will you choose?
Welcome to The Divide.
This is The Divide.
With Mike and Corey.
That's your boy Todd Frazier.
Hey guys, I'm Julie Stewart-Banks.
Hey, what's up? This is Cliff Floyd. You can catch me on The Divide.
You can catch me on The Divide on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Hopefully our disagreements one day bring us all together.
So stupid. So corny and so stupid. I hope our disagreements bring us together.
Yeah, I do. This is The Divide.
And here we are, Divide Live, Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 Philly, 104.1 Trenton. Check us out on the iHeart app. And we're here for the first show in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That 4th of July holiday really messed us up.
Not on Q102.
Not on, no.
Oh,
Almost
man.
went live there.
Jeez.
Which I think would have done well for our ratings. I got to be honest with you.
Well, I feel bad because it's like, you ever see, what is it? The movie with Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls where he has too many jobs.
The other guys?
The other guys, yeah.
Where is it like Bed Bath &
That's
Beyond,
how
Michael
I felt.
Keaton?
It's like, yeah, don't,
You got to creep.
Yeah.
Creep.
Speaking of being a creep, I want to apologize. Well, I guess not being a creep, more of a jerk. It was your birthday last weekend, and Germ does this awesome post of Bert and his fancy thing and wished you a happy birthday. And I feel like two things, and I'm not making an excuse for myself because you're my best friend. I should overly celebrate your birthday, but my dad's birthday is around this time, so I try to forget. I try to just make it through this.
I don't need the attention that Bert needs.
Yeah, I know.
And you don't need to. You don't need to compensate the way
hence
that Germ compensates.
His GQ magazine.
Jesus Christ! Jimmy Bond, not even James Bond.
Bert Bond.
Bert Bond.
So happy birthday, man!
Oh,
I love you.
Thank you so
You're
much,
amazing.
man. Love
And,
you too, dude. You know.
You texted me. This is why I think it hit me a little hard because it just shows how great of a friend you are and how genuine you are. You knew I was golfing. I had a bad round at the Swinging and Digging Open. My head was again doing too many jobs at once.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So you're like, dude, just enjoy the day. So you woke up first thing on your birthday, and you texted me to make sure I had fun in my round.
Well, so funny you say that because I was a little jealous. I was like, man, and you were playing Gamblers, which I love playing, and you were playing with Timmy. And I really want to play with Timmy just to see what kind of a golfer he is. I've heard from you that he had a couple really good shots. I gotta see it.
Yeah,
and I know, and I love Timmy, but I have to see the golfer. I've never seen golf for Tim. I've seen we've done 5Ks with Timmy. We've done these mud runs. We've done these random sporting event type deals with. I've never golfed with this dude.
Yo. Normally, I tell him oh, you're being too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on a golf course. I let him do it because he overperforms. He's performing. I was like, I don't think you realize how good you just did.
A year from now, he's just gonna be in the PGA Tour,
birdieing 70 yards,
live golf.
Jarred one from 63 yards out.
That's unreal.
It was nuts, man. I couldn't believe it. His putting game was strong. His drive's coming around. He's going through the same struggles, trying to figure out his bag, the right mix in it. Just bought a new driver, so that's why I really want to get out. And I was like, sure, let's do it. And, golf now allows you to invite your friends, which I think is really cool, but we have to be friends.
Yeah, I finally accepted. I was like,
All right,
we're
cool.
not friends. So what's funny, though, is it was my birthday, and I was excited because it was a nice day. It was nice outside. I'm like, damn, man. And it was a little bit of a later. It was 10 a.m. start or something like that.
That kind of bit us in the
but,
because it was hot.
Dude, I mentioned it to my wife 4 times. I'm like, yeah, I know he's golfing Gamblers. Just thinking she might be like, oh, what's your birthday? Why don't you see if you get out? You know what I mean? She didn't even hint at it. I'm like, all right, I guess she wants it a family day, which was fine. We had a really good day as a family, but I was like, I wonder if you should.
When you sent the text, I thought, because our twosome that we're golfing with did not show up yet, so I thought you did take my advice.
So hard about it.
Yeah.
So I was just waiting for a little bit of a green light, and then I was just going to show. I wasn't gonna, that's how I would have done it. I wouldn't have just told you. I would have just showed up.
Yeah, it would have been the epic text to walk up behind me while I was reading it. So. But yeah, shout outs to Bert.
I would have just walked up behind you like, you're going to suck today.
Yeah, it's all over, pal. But also I don't know why it bothers me so much, but people who just blatantly like lie about their scores on a golf course.
Like the two
right
guys
in
we played
front
with
of you.
last time.
Oh, those guys were hilarious.
Par. You're like, what?
But we had one in our group, and it was outlandish. Like he was taking like 4 off the tee, like and he wouldn't let other people do it. Like he would get in his cart and drive off. Like, and it's funny because I said, and this is messed up, I'm gonna say it anyway. I was like, yo, he reminds me of all the bad parts about Bert. Like this guy, like
Old guy, young guy.
young. He had mannerisms like Bert, but it was like if Bert was not genuine and not a good person, and like anytime he's been like in a bad mood, this guy was always that guy. And a dweeb too. Bert's not a dweeb, so I guess he's nothing like Bert. But for some reason, it reminded me of Bert. Like maybe the way we joke about the image of Bert.
So
like
did you play? You played with another twosome or two singles?
2 singles. They didn't know each other.
Really?
The other guy was an older guy, very nice. Bought us around at the end, which was nice. Great guy. But even like, dude, he does this weird thing where like when he's putting, he like takes both legs and straddles the ball and then thrusts his hips to like get an idea of where the ball should go. So I'm like, is this dude like using his groin right now to detect like where the ball should? It was weird. So he squares up on the ball and then does his putt. And his putts were way off, so it doesn't work.
Right.
But yeah, he'd be like, man, just miss par, just miss par. I was like, I just watched you shoot 4, like 3 into. I was like, bro, you're like laying 7
You
right
hit
now.
2 OB.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Like, so yeah, I was like, who are you fooling? He's like, got another par. I was like, yo, Tim, is it just me? Like, and like there are people that are like, put me down for a 6, and they shot like 9 or 10, and and I always say that's funny, but this guy, like, just blatantly like, dude, bro, you took more than 4 shots before you left the tee.
Bro, we talk about this all the time. Like, if you were good at this game, you wouldn't be playing Gamblers, right? I mean, it's a great course,
Yeah.
but like the average, I would even say, I can't even say the average pro. If you're a scratch golfer, like you're
And
only
you're on
using
there.
your driver maybe 3 or 4 times on that course.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because their par 4s aren't crazy.
Yeah.
So
I'm almost at a point where like I can't use my driver for
if
the
you
back
hit it
9.
straight, the
The
forget
back
it.
9, it's like
There's 2 par 5s, I think, on the back 9 of
Right.
that course, and then everything else is like a
Yeah.
little bit of a shorter par 4 and a couple par
Right.
3s. So it's like, if you're gonna keep score, do it the right way, or just don't keep it at all. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Just say, oh man, I hit a couple good ones.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Yeah, that
stuff,
was the
man.
time he told me I was in the water. I was like, I don't think I'm in the water. He's like, bro, you in the water, and it was that short par 4 or no
Hole 2.
the big par 3, with the water to the left. So like, yeah, and like you're like, and you have to, maybe it is a par 4.
Yeah, it's got to be. 'cause
It
the
is a
only,
par
The
4.
only par 3 with water is that short one that's like
Yeah,
90 yards.
No, it's
Actually, there's 2.
Yeah.
There's one.
it's the other
that was
lake
like
on it.
140 or whatever. It's-
But yeah, dude, the rounds they were telling us are getting so out of hand, like 6-hour rounds on Sundays there, that they had to raise the price to get rid of people.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
What does the marshal do? Like, they're not speeding this up.
They were being crazy. Like, I heard them on the radio and stuff, and this was just like, it was a logjam. They're like, there's nothing you could do. And the people behind us are frustrated. They think it's us because, like, every time they showed up, the other people just got out of the way. And it's like,
That's
dude, I
annoying.
swear they were just there. Like,
That's annoying.
So yeah, so it looked like it was us, but
Well,
it
that's what
wasn't.
happened. Like when we did swinging, and I mean, obviously it was a scramble. A lot of holes were doubled up.
Yeah.
At the Legacy, great course.
Right.
But we were just a twosome.
Yeah.
Which is cool because we were just kind of riding around.
Uh-huh.
But the guys in front of us were cool. We got to stop and talk to them. But it never seemed like
Yeah.
they were waiting on anyone. It almost
No.
seemed like they were just taking their
That's
time.
exactly
And
how.
we were just kind of like, are they waiting for these guys? Or are they just like, because not even off the tee box, like even when they would eventually get together and find the ball, they're like just kind of.
Yeah.
But with Legacy, it's like there's at least 3 holes where off the
Yeah.
tee box you're hitting blind. You don't know.
Yeah.
Like the first hole we played was what, hole 6?
Yes, 6.
and we
Par three.
accidentally hit into them because we were like,
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you
we're
had
like,
a great
first
shot.
drive of the day. I'm like, that first drive
Yeah.
never goes like that.
Yeah.
And then like we literally driving up like, oh, my ball's up. They're just leaving where I'm like, oh, sorry guys.
But they were like, nice drive, bro, and it was a
Yeah.
great drive.
It was
So,
good.
yeah, it was like you know when you're golfing on that, those are two different. I don't even want to call them the same kind of sport, right? Legacy's a beautiful palace, and then you know, the gambler is.
If your ball is in the rough at Gambler, that's
Yeah.
like a rough patch of the fairway in
Yeah.
Legacy. When I lost the ball in the rough at Legacy, I know exactly
Dude.
where it went. I looked for it; it wasn't there.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Like,
And
that's the
your
one-
ball just died
Yep.
if you hit it. Like you were being penalized for being in the rough. It literally was rough.
It was good though.
Also, I felt like because it was an outing that they didn't. Yeah, I wanted to ask Jeff this. Like, I feel like they purposely didn't mow all weekend or something. Because like Mondays normally are closed. Was it? It was a Monday, right?
It was a Monday, yeah.
Yeah. So I bet you like they didn't mow that day or something.
Probably.
They probably don't. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, why? No sense in making it perfect for a bunch of idiots like ourselves that are gonna go.
But even that, like to win the hole to win a car, like that pin was all the way in the back.
You mean the 175
Yeah.
yards with a slope of like 60 yards?
And I
Up.
hit it. Yeah, I hit it
An
well.
upward
Like
slope.
the
You hit it
woman
great.
was like, nice
It was
hit.
right on the lip.
But it just died, right? Yeah, it just
Literally
died.
no kick or
Yeah,
nothing.
But yeah, it was a fun round for good people. I also did something else. I did not get to partake in golf. Next year we will, I promise. I will find us a rich person that can afford it, but to afford us to play. Hamilton Farm. It is unbelievable. And it was for the Children's Specialized Hospital through Play Yellow, which is amazing, through the Miracle Network. It's you know, so it was a lot of people just doing good, raising money. And I got to spend the day with Gabby and her family, and we drove around the golf course. It was a beautiful day. It was like that fear that it might rain or thunderstorm, but it never did. So a good gust of wind, no sun.
Man, I love a good overcast
Dude,
day,
it was
man.
beautiful. And we just drove around the entire day for like 4.5 hours, interviewing some of the, you know, people that were heavy donators, sponsors, board members. It was a lot of fun.
Did Gabby golf at all? It looked like she was dressed to
So
golf.
she took a couple shots. People were giving her a driver, and so did her brother Cooper. And dude, then man, it was just the locker room at the farm is sick. Had to get a hat. I was like, should I get it? I didn't really golf here. I didn't care. I was like, this hat's fire. I'm getting
Sick
it.
hat.
Yeah, it's so absolutely crazy. A lot of fun, and we'll be there next year, and hopefully, you know, we'll bring some sponsors of our own.
Hell yeah. So a lot of golf in the last couple of weeks. Decent golf, we'll say. Baseball. There's been a lot of baseball. We might as well just briefly talk about that. Don't worry, Philly. You guys are still the best team in baseball, as much as it might pain us to say. The Yankees still suck from the last time we talked to you. They just can't put anything together, man. They're dropping. And no offense to you, but dude, if you're dropping the 4 games you played to the Mets, who was the worst team and one of the worst teams, not bottom 3, would say, you know, a month and a half ago, that is now, dare I say,
Dude.
If the season ended today, the Mets are in the wild card.
And at the number 2 seed, which is sick.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Absolutely unreal. I'm happy for him. I am. I do think that now is the time the Yankees really need to take a hard look and get together. Trade deadline's approaching. For the love of God, do something. I mean, don't tell me you can't make moves. Even Philly is talking about making moves. Philly, who has one of the best starting rotations in baseball right now, might have their eyes on some pitching. But just it never ceases to amaze me how good this team can be, talking about the Yankees, and just how bad they've been playing.
The only fear that Philadelphia has right now is their schedule is tough. They are playing first place teams nonstop. They're where you were a month ago, concerned about your team, and it could get bad. Like you know, when I look at the record, I'm like, by the end of August, you could be close to 100 wins if you do this, you know, at the rate you're going.
I mean, they do, and they have some wiggle room. And they see the Yankees on Friday, you know.
Yep.
Actually, I'm sorry, not on Friday. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think next week, the Yankees come to Philly. So It's tough, but I think some of these teams are in a slump. I mean, I'm trying to look, the Guardians this weekend will be a real test for them. A young, explosive team. And then, like I said, I mean, the Yankees come to town for, was it 3 days? 1, 2?
Yeah,
was it only 2? Yeah, 3 days.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to be a problem for Philly. It pains me to say that I think the Yankees maybe take 1 out of the 2. But, I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Unless Philly really gets ahead in their record and they start kind of taking chances and kind of feeling out a few situations. I think at least rolling into September, I would say that they're going to get close to 100 wins.
Yeah, I see them, maybe adding to the outfield. I see them adding to the bullpen, the Phillies. But yeah, they're on cruise control, man. It's got to be such a great vibe to be 64-38 and counting,
Well, I mean, and honestly, there's even speculation that they're going to try to go after Skubal, Tariq Skubal, which is one of the best pitchers in baseball right now.
Yeah, it's sick.
They have the cap to do it, according to some reports here. They have some really good prospects that they could try to trade. I think it's still a long shot, but like, why mess with it, man? Just, you have a great starting rotation. Why even? I mean, like you said, get some insurance in the outfield, but other than that, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Knock
I agree.
on wood, as long as everybody stays healthy here. I mean,
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the cool part is, the wild card, the way it's 3 teams now, so it's
the best thing they ever did. What was that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now? It was by far the best thing. And honestly, I mean, we've seen situations to where, and it might even happen this year again, where in the NL East and AL East, you got three of the 4 teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the best thing for East Coast baseball.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, we're taking advantage of it 9 times out of 10.
Absolutely.
And then a little bit of the Central and the West Coast, not so much,
That's kind of the way it should be. I mean, that's like the most fair way to do it, adding that wild card spot without just saying, hey, you know what? Here's the AL, these top however many teams, forget about it, you're making it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what they did in so many ways.
I love it.
But it's wild, man.
It's a wild card.
It's a wild card.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
No, it's so weird to have a season again, though. I will share that. I'm still kind of on that reverse jinx with the Mets. I'm not fully sold, but man, 12-2, they beat the Yankees. Like, that's in your own
You've always said, like, what a roller coaster being a Met fan is. It's just so funny because in past years, it's been like hot out the gate, crash and burn in August and September.
Yeah.
Whereas you were just god awful.
Yo, it was
starting to get better, riding that Grimace train, right?
Uh-huh.
And then, you had your Met fans that were like true speculation. I mean, you said you were boycotting, and then during the whole Grimace thing, we would make jokes, but you never really got excited. You're like, yeah, this is just a whatever. We made some Grimace shirts to kind of catch a little bit of.
Because every year it's like Grimace, it's Donnie Diesel, it's all these things that just tend to be this nostalgia type thing, and then they just fizzle and die, and then you end up like I said I hope this doesn't happen to anybody I care about, but like Donnie Diesel became hated by the Mets fan base, like that's terrible, but
not Grimace.
You
can't hate
do that to Grimace, and you definitely can't do that to the artist that is J Mac Customs, who will be doing Mets art for the rest of his life, and he deserves every second of that. So.
Absolutely. On top of J-Mac, though, let's talk baseball. Let's talk Phillies, Mets, Yankees. Guys, if you have a friend that roots for another team, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
For example, cut betting.
Yes.
Let's just put our money where our mouth is. Yankee fan, Met fan, I think so-and-so is going to do X, Y, and Z tonight. Head on the app. Put your money up. It's the best social media betting platform, guys. We've been telling you for the last couple weeks. Check out Cut betting? KUTT.com. You can download the app right off of cut.com. It's pretty intense. It's awesome. I lost a lot of money in the beginning of the season. Oh my God.
Because as much as I was saying on the air, I wasn't rooting for the Mets. I was hoping, I'm like, they're plus money right now. I'll take it, but now I've gotten it all back. So it's really cool to be a part of that roller coaster. But also, if you are terrible at betting, The house isn't getting your money.
Nope.
Somebody else is, which is awesome. And maybe it's your buddy. Maybe it's somebody who accepted your public bet. But check it out. Cut. You could do more than just sports. You could do politics. You know, like there was a ton of people who cashed in. Will Biden drop out? And he did. You know, not to talk politics or anything like that, but you could bet them.
Bet anything with an outcome.
Yeah, all these
anything.
Everybody's like, oh, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. Well, bet on it and prove it. So if it has an actual outcome and it can be proven, you could bet on the Cut app.
Absolutely. We got to take a quick break, guys. When we come back, yes, the Olympics are finally back, and you're not going to believe what some teams are already doing there in Paris and the just hectic situation that is 10,000 athletes plus a whole bunch of tourists over there. Stay with us, guys. This is The Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Stephen Cohen just texted. Great team effort tonight. Next up are the Braves at Citi Field tomorrow. LGN.
Wow.
Oh, who cares? No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Oh, who cares?
You ready to rock?
Yeah.
You're listening to The Divide right here on The Gambler.
Divide Live, Fox Sports The Gambler. Don't forget to check out our socials.
Yeah.
Divide Live on Instagram, on X, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube Live. Check us out. Interact with us. You don't like something we talked about, just let us know. We're not going to care, but we'll take it into consideration. Just feel free to go ahead and shoot us a message with anything you want to hear from us. Olympics. Are you excited at all?
So I was in Paris. You know, I brought you home a cool pen from there and
a hat.
And a hat.
And a hat.
Yeah. And, you know, it was really cool watching them set up. It was really cool knowing the symbols were going to be put on the Eiffel Tower. You know, and I was like, man, I really felt really cool about it. What I didn't like is I was already hearing rumors that the air conditioning was going to become an issue. Did you see the cardboard beds?
Did you see them testing it out?
No.
Okay. Go ahead with what you're saying, and I'll tell you just exactly how.
Yeah. The one I saw was like the athlete like proving it was actually cardboard. Like she pulled up the mattress.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And then I saw athletes testing its durability.
No.
So do you know the whole theory, other than going green, you know the theory behind the cardboard beds?
No.
Okay. I don't know if this is true or if it was speculated, but the Olympic Committee wanted to make these beds along with Paris and France, and basically they're going green, but they wanted to make these anti-sex beds. They wanted to discourage the athletes from hooking up with each other while over there. Because apparently
that's going to discourage it.
In the Olympic Village, in the past,
we should ask
you
Todd.
have all these top-tier athletes, right?
Yeah.
Do not ask Todd. Do not ask Todd. But you have all these top-tier athletes from different countries, all like-minded, good-looking individuals in one spot. Apparently, it's like this crazy orgy. All right. So the Olympic Committee, oh God.
Hey, Todd.
So the Olympic Committee basically, along with this Going Green initiative, wanted to make these beds to where it was very difficult
to make love,
to have sex in them.
Okay.
So the athletes not only showed you that it was cardboard, it does actually look like underneath, if you see the videos on Instagram or TikTok,
yeah,
it looks like a pile of Amazon boxes.
Yo, it looks like.
However, it's a very sturdy pile.
Is it?
Of Amazon boxes.
They tested it?
Some of these athletes are straight up jumping on them.
Wow.
And they're not bouncing, so they're kind of uncomfortable, but they ain't collapsing. So, I mean, God, if all you need is a hard surface, you got it.
Yeah.
So
but that's the other problem, though. You would think they would be in like a high-end hotel, like, you know, a nice bed.
Dude, they're literally the best athletes at what they do from their country. Why would you not put them in a comfortable environment? Right. They're competing for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity at gold.
And it's a twin bed. It doesn't look like most of these athletes could fit.
Exactly.
It's so insane. It's just insane to me. Like, you treat it like summer camp, like fat camp.
Do you know if they have to stay in the Olympic Village?
I think they do. I mean, you know, I don't know.
I know during the last Summer Olympics was during COVID, where it was like mandatory they weren't leaving their room unless it was for competing.
Yeah.
But now, I also wonder how COVID's going to impact this because it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Like, are athletes still going to get sick? Like, I don't think quarantine is as much
of an
and like
issue.
even over here, if you have COVID, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, wear a mask for 2 days.
And I assume like the golfers, like that's just like a PGA tournament for them. So I assume they could stay wherever they want, right?
Right. I'm just
Like-
kind of thinking like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so with the time difference, guys, if you're interested, the opening ceremony. Now, if you've watched some Olympics so far, it's because I guess they're doing like their grouping and figuring out who places where. But the opening ceremony officially starts 1:30 on Friday, our time, 1:30 our time. I think that's about 6 p.m. Paris time or 6:30 their time. So that's going to start, and then all the way through August 11th. I think 11th or 12th is the closing ceremony. So there's going to be like 60 different games. And if you want to watch them live, you have your choice to watch them. I think they start as early as 3 in the morning, and they go all the way through 6 p.m. our time.
Wow.
Which is a little weird.
Midnight.
And I
That's
don't.
almost midnight
So,
their time.
and I think that's. I want to say when I read that was the live. Like if you wanted to catch it live, which yeah, competition times will run from 3 a.m. roughly to 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, man. Peyton Manning is going to cover at least the opening ceremony with Kelly Clarkson and Mike Tirico. Like, just a weird combination.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a thing.
Well, they're trying to get viewers, which I get.
And and they should.
And
These athletes
honestly,
deserve it.
and it looks like they're going to do it on, like, whatever the whatever river, the Seine.
Okay.
Seine. I imagine.
I heard it's like a boat
The Seine
parade,
River.
right?
It's like a boat parade.
Yeah.
But apparently, this river in Paris was like one of the dirtiest.
It is. It's
rivers.
disgusting.
So it was $1 billion initiative to clean up this river, and it's now safe for the swimmers to swim in for the triathlon.
Sure it is.
Well, that's what they say.
I just saw it the other day. And the other thing was so a lot of people in Paris like to fish because apparently like there's a lot of stuff down there, like old guns, just things that were thrown in the river, cars, scooters, like you could find metal, jewelry. So they call it like, I forget, like something metal fishing, right?
Yeah,
so
like a
it's
big magnet.
They got a giant magnet and they're just throwing it in there. It's banned from doing that because they said there's a lot of buried bodies from World War II and World War One.
No way.
Yeah, in there. So it's considered a graveyard.
So how did they
But bro,
clean that up?
it looked like chocolate milk. I was there 2 weeks before, and so unless that $1 billion rolled in right after I left, it doesn't. You know how the Jersey Shore gets a bad rep for not being able to see to the bottom of the ocean? This is 10 times worse. It looked like Charlie Chocolate in the chocolate factory, the chocolate fountain, man. I was disgusted by it. I was like, they're going to put people in here? They're going to
Dude,
come
they
out
say
with 3
it's
arms.
like one of the filthiest bodies of water.
Because it's just bodies in water. Like, it's just a bunch of dead bodies in there. Like, you know, like I even said, like, if you were to, I bet you it tastes like coins. Like, if you were to put that in your mouth.
Oh,
Like, it's
no.
disgusting. It's so nasty. Poor swimmers, you know.
Hold on a second. Opening ceremony. I'm trying to find where it literally says, like, yeah, this is one of the nastiest bodies of.
I believe it. I mean, I experienced it. Like, we didn't go in, but I didn't even want to go on a boat. There was a couple cool, like, boat-looking things. I was like, you know, I'm going to pass on that.
Yeah, a $1 billion investment. And there was some bacteria-related setbacks. It's finally swimmable, it says. But, dude, it's crazy. So I'm super interested just in the games itself. I always love when the Olympics come around because nobody cares about swimming.
No.
Nobody cares. I would say more people probably care about gymnastics all year round than swimming. But, like, you don't care about archery until you're in a bar at 3 p.m. on a July day just rooting for the USA for no reason whatsoever. That's what I love about the Olympics. Forget about, basketball, soccer, rugby, like your bigger events, or I should say more popular or more well-known events, absolutely, that they've always been, people just lining up to root for it. But, like, come on. I remember being in a bar when Michael Phelps would compete years ago. And it was wild, man.
It
the
was.
whole place would stop. The
Yeah.
DJ would stop playing music just to watch this 30-second race, and the place would go wild. You would think that you bet on it. You would think.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
And the other thing is too, like, it's just so funny. All the experts now on swimming, like you're standing next to somebody, you go, yeah, he's the best at the butterfly. Like, all right, you probably just heard that before the last commercial break.
The problem is he didn't tuck his ear like he was supposed to under his cap, and he really, the drag really brought him down. Like, get out of here, dude.
It's cool though. I like it. I like the, the patriotism. I'm excited for golf. I'm bummed baseball isn't in it. It will be back in 4 years, I believe, or 8, however long it takes. Yeah, for 4.
Don't worry too much, Mike, because breakdancing it's called breaking, which is breakdance. But I'm telling you right now, man, it's gonna be a big hit.
I hope that's on August 8th because that would be funny if they tie in the Ocho. And I know it's not an ESPN thing, but it would just be fun.
I can actually tell you if it would be on the 8th. Because the NBCOlympics.com has the whole schedule of everything. Looks women's round 2 golf, taekwondo, table tennis, diving. Let's see. Rhythmic gymnastics. More table tennis. Track and field, canoeing. Oh, I don't think you're getting breaking, buddy. You're getting some wrestling, sailing, more canoeing. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, who cares?
My friend's birthday.
Speaking of the water, well, I'm the 7th, so the 8th is the Ocho. Like, so I was just wondering if.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second.
It's okay. I almost forgot your birthday.
No, because you said for my birthday, and then you started going on against the Ocho. I still don't think you're getting it, man. You got handball on your birthday, though.
That's exciting. I like handball. That's a
Handball's
Brooklyn
great.
thing. Look, I read this and I wanted to share with you before we run out of time here. The moon is like drifting away from the Earth and it's causing problems. I just read this article. That's as far as I read. So I definitely read a headline and I was like, I can't wait to share this with Corey. It's just funny because your boys at NASA, they love giving these things. Like I saw yesterday, like this, they call it like the Merchant of Death meteor is coming like in like 10 years. Or something, it's going to be like 100.
This is why I hate NASA.
Right.
So you're right. Turns out that the moon is moving away from Earth at 3.82 centimeters a year. Okay. So every year, the Earth moves a little bit farther, almost 4 centimeters. Which means, guys, I don't want you to panic, but eventually it'll result in Earth days now lasting 25 hours in about 200 million years. Why is this news?
I love that somebody's getting paid to discuss,
dumb.
figure that out.
200 million years? 200 million years? Like, first of all, we've all seen the effects of climate change
of 100
in the
years.
last 10 years.
We're
not lasting 200 million years. The moon can go wherever it wants.
Yeah.
You got to be like, come on. Come on.
I do find it funny that, like, certain restrictions that Paris and London have already, and, like, America's like, we're not doing that. Like, but I did hate those paper cups, man. They were disgusting. Drinking any type of cold beverage out of a paper cup, it should be banned, regardless. Like, it should be a plastic or, like, a reusable cup. It should never be a paper cup. Like, iced coffee in a paper cup, it's disgusting. Like, it's absolutely the worst thing you could ever eat. And especially a paper straw. So it's just all paper.
Well, the paper straws are gross.
And even their paper cups aren't like they're paper. They're not like enameled like
that
ours
has got
are.
like the liner on the inside.
Yeah, because so it was pretty disgusting. But
I tell you, man,
to the point where I was like, I don't want to drink
trying
it.
to clean up and go green and all that. Like, if you want to sell me a reusable cup or something, I get it. But come on, don't give me that. Actually, and we were talking about this last week with my family because an article popped up. Only like 9% of the stuff you recycle or put in the recycling bin.
Oh, we send it to China. Yeah.
Actually, like gets recycled.
Yeah.
Everything else just ends up in a landfill.
Yeah. And then the other thing is too, like, they still filter out your trash too, to see if they could recycle stuff, which makes no sense.
At the bar, they actually threatened because like we weren't separating the stuff properly, and the company that takes away the trash and the recycling actually threatened us with fines until we sent them CCTV footage of the one truck that they send picking up for both dumpsters, dumping the trash and the recycling in the back of the same truck.
That is great.
Like, it's weird because you charge us for the 2 dumpsters and you say you're going to fine us for not separating, but you put this in the same spot and you mean to tell me you separate it all when you get back? Get out of here.
Yeah.
So it's so
That's funny.
Like 9%. Why do I have to separate everything if only 9% of it's actually getting recycled?
And then there's like other people that are like, you know, you can't don't put the bag in there or whatever because it messes up the recycling machine. Or
get
something.
out of here.
Yeah.
It's a plastic bag.
Right.
Recycle it.
Yeah. They're like, it messes up our machine. Like,
Man,
no,
NASA
right.
and recycling are 2 beefs that I just keep growing and growing. Guys, stay with us. We got to take a quick break. Somebody did a stupid survey of the 10 best fast food chains in America. And Mike and I are going to hash it out because I strongly disagree. I don't really know how you feel about it. You just sent it, and I told you I can't wait to cover it. So stay with us. You'll hear all about Divide Live, Fox Sports The Gambler. Let's pull that up. God damn it. Nope, that's not it.
I did a hit on WDAS with Frankie Darcell about the Sixers moving to New Jersey and
I saw that.
how hilarious that would be because of the simple fact that there's Phillies, the Eagle fans always call it the New Jersey Jets and New Jersey Giants.
Did you see Aaron Rodgers' take on that?
That they are New Jersey, right?
Aaron Rodgers was like, yeah, they should be called that. There's like not one player on the New York Jet roster that actually lives in New York.
We should talk about that.
Let's do it.
All right.
You're listening to The Divide, right here on The Gambler.
Divide Live, Fox Sports, The Gambler. Before we get into this fast food breakdown, we were just talking in the break. You were saying, because there was that rumor that with all these holdups for the Sixers' new stadium, even with the owners fronting the $1 billion investment down in Center City, there was still a chance or something came out to where they could possibly move to Camden in New Jersey, which would be hysterical. And that would then make the 3rd team that plays in New Jersey that considers themselves from a
different city.
And I told you that I think it was on Barstool. Aaron Rodgers was doing an interview and basically said, like, the Jets and Giants, they should be the New Jersey Jets and Giants. That's where they play. That's where they're from.
Right.
And Aaron Rodgers himself said there's not one person on the Jets roster that lives in New York.
Yeah, and I get that, but he doesn't understand this area, so he shouldn't have an opinion. Just because you played for one down in this city, you don't get to say what it should be labeled. Like, I understand, like, the Jets have high hopes for you, but try to convince that fan base to not call themselves the New York Jets. It's not going to happen.
It's just a dumb question,
It
too.
is. It's
just
stupid.
Like,
It's
what
stupid.
a terrible journalist. Like, you can ask Aaron Rodgers anything. You're like, hey, Aaron, you're playing New Jersey. Do you think they should be called the Jersey? Like, he doesn't care what the team is called. They're paying him millions of dollars.
That move was so trash, though, because one, it is, I think, on a landfill. Like, it feels like it is. It's like on swampland. The Eagles fans call it the swamp, in the Meadowlands. So the 2 was like it could have had every team right there. Could have had every team right there. It could have been a really cool complex. That mall took forever to open. Now I don't even want to go because it just doesn't. It's not appetizing anymore. No. Like everything they tried to do in that area just fell through. Right? You had for a little bit the Nets were around there, right, with their arena, and the
Continental Arena was around there. The Nets and the Devils would play at the Continental Arena.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't, and it's still not that accessible to mass transportation.
And it's funny, and it's kind of fitting because the man who moved the Devils out of that arena and put him in Newark is now talking. He's the same owner of the Sixers. Mm-hmm. So the Devils owner is the Sixers owner, and now he's going to do the same thing he did in Newark to Camden. And, honestly, that's where they get their money is property. So he could build all around that stadium He'll probably buy more land than just the arena. And I think that's the same thing he's looking to do in Center City. So this is a great position for him. But again, it breaks up the amazingness that is, want to go to a Sixers game, want to go to a Flyers game. Maybe I'm not that interested, but the extra kicker of knowing there's a casino that I could stop in, or there's Xfinity Live where we get a pregame drink, it's appetizing to me.
The best part about that complex in Philly, the best thing you guys have, Philly, is the fact that, first of all, super easy to get in and out of. Like, we've Ubered there the last couple times.
Yeah.
But even if we were driving, dude, it's super
Right
easy.
over
Like,
the bridge.
I've never, knock on wood here, but we went to the Yankee game last Saturday. Just
forget it.
getting out of the, on the Major League and across the bridge, dude, it's an hour. I've never waited longer than 20 minutes getting out of any game or event in Philly. And it's not like I'm not leaving early to beat the traffic. I'm leaving with everybody else. They just have it down to a science, man. It's just, I don't know. They got the right setup. And you have Xfinity. I think that helps. When you have a casino, you have Xfinity Live, people are like, I'm not rushing out of here. And then people just kind of slowly dip out.
So then Wells Fargo announced they're not renewing their name on the arena as well. So that's up in about a year. So it's not going to be called the Wells Fargo for the last 5 years that the Sixers playing it, because the Sixers are there till 2031. So that's crazy too. So what's it going to be called now? So there's a lot of nonsense, and I'm just like, man, this, they could have figured this out. I wish the Sixers weren't moving out of that area, but it's obvious that they might not only be moving out of the area, they might be moving out of the
Philly.
city.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
But it would be a nice skyline to see from Camden. So unlike, no, I'm dead serious. Like, you would see the
it's
Philly
nice.
skyline. It
Yeah.
is nice, but you don't get that with the Meadowlands. All you see is fog and
Marsh
and power plants
racetrack.
and oil things and whatever, gasoline.
It's just
Smells.
a terrible area.
So bad.
Alia.
All
All right. So Boardroom on Instagram did a top fast food chains, top 10 in America.
Mm-hmm.
And Chick-fil-A was number 1 for the last decade. Spoiler alert, they're no longer number 1.
Oh.
Here's the problem I have with this. There are fast food chains in this top 10. And I'm sorry, this is according to USA Today. This is a rank survey from USA Today. So Boardroom on Instagram is just reporting from what USA Today reported. There's fast food establishments in this top 10, Mike, that aren't available across the United States. Like, this is dumb.
It is dumb.
Like, there's 1, 2, I don't know. Is Hardee's in New Jersey? Do we have a Hardee's?
Are they the same as? No, I guess not. What is that other one where it's dual, two?
I know what
Checkers?
you're talking about.
Is it Checkers?
No,
Rallies?
you're thinking of Hardee's is the same as, I keep wanting to call it Jimmy John's, but it's not. Anyway, so with that being said, if anybody knows of a Hardee's in New Jersey or even Philly, there's
Send it our way.
5 fast food chains on this list that are not available in the state of New Jersey, or even I've never seen them in the
Philly,
Philadelphia area
yeah.
either. So number 1 is Del Taco, which I've been to Del Taco before.
Okay.
They're fantastic.
Okay.
They're not on the east side of the Mississippi.
Right. I saw one in LA and I thought it was like a bootleg Taco Bell.
It's like a fresher,
Is
quote,
it?
Taco Bell. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're not bad, but so Del Taco is number 1. So stupid. U.S. this isn't the best fast food chain in America. You can't find that across all 50 states, bro. 2 is KFC.
That's terrible.
If this was 1995,
Right.
I'd agree with you.
Get a bucket of
KFC has been on
trash.
downhill slope.
Right.
Then you have Chick-fil-A, which I still think is severely overrated.
Right.
For-
They're number 2 or are they 4?
They're number 3.
They're 3.
So it's Del Taco, KFC, Chick-fil-A.
That's crazy.
And 4 is In-N-Out, which we've been to In-N-Out. I get it. They're good, but you can't find them
anywhere on this
anywhere
Yeah.
this on the East Coast.
Yo, I had it with Timmy once. Did I share this story? I'm eating the fries, and on the bottom of the fries, it says, this was made with sunflower oil. So, the whole, I was like,
Mike
yeah.
is allergic to sunflower seeds, sunflower
And oil.
anything. So
Yeah.
the fact that he finished the fries, read that, he probably immediately checked himself into the emergency room.
Yeah.
So to give you the list from 1 to 10, Del Taco, KFC, Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, Hardee's at 5, Captain D's at 6, insert joke here,
Captain D's.
Captain D's at number 6. Don't even know what that is. I've never seen one of those. Taco Bell is 7. Popeyes is 8.
I'm gonna
Zaxby's.
call my wife Captain D's. I'm going right up.
Oh, man.
That's
Good
great.
thing she doesn't listen.
Yeah.
Zaxby's. I don't know what a Zaxby is. That's number 9. And Arby's is 10. McDonald's is not on there. Burger
Arby's
King's is
is-
not on there.
Dude,
Like look, and we're not saying these places are good. For the record,
Yeah.
when was the last time you ate at any of these?
none. Yeah, not in a long, long time.
And we're not
KFC 's
super healthy
disgusting.
people, but like at the
Yeah,
same
especially
time,
not
like
me.
it's just
Yeah.
not a part of our life right now.
Mm.
Every now, like for the last couple of years, with the exception of the last 2. So let's just say
Wendy's isn't on this?
Wendy's, no. So I used to once a year on my birthday, I used to just order Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that in like the last 2 years. And that was
Okay.
always like, oh, my treat. Let me just treat myself to diarrhea on the day
Yeah.
after my birthday.
Uh-huh.
But no, Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's are all not on there.
Mhm.
But you have something called Zaxby's and Captain D's, which I've never, it's not like I've ever driven past and seen a sign for it.
Yeah.
I just don't get I don't get the obsession with Chick-fil-A to begin with. It's okay.
It's really not. Like, have you ever been like, oh, I ate too much at Chick-fil-A? Like, and it for fast food and good food, it's like right in the middle. The nugs were amazing for a while, but they've kind of fallen off.
Yeah, they're just
they've
like every other fast food
Yeah.
chain now.
I don't know, man. But what I do know is, yeah, this is a very appetizing episode.
Yeah, this is giving me the runs. Oh, man. All right, guys.
I'm going to reach out to Captain D's, see if I could get that.
Seriously, we might have to see if they can
Sponsorship.
send us some stuff.
Yeah.
At least a T-shirt.
Uh,
Stay. Have a good week. Watch the Olympics. We'll be back next week with a recap of, I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
The Divide D's.